Oh, this tearing out a tooth with a pair of pliers, I must confess I stole from Les Blanc.
Les Blanc is a documentary filmmaker and friend of Herzog. They later got matching skull tattoos.
There's a sense of adventure and a sense of doing things you've never done before. And that's what I like about America.
Another America, Films from a Place Called Home, is a video essay series that explores movies about America made by non-Americans. Three friends from Berlin who have only each other to lean on leave their homeland for America. That is the premise of Werner Herzog's Stroszek. Before they leave Germany, Bruno is released from a home and he ignores the advice of his counselor to avoid alcohol. Once at the bar, he runs into his old flame, Eva. Eva is a sex worker and her pimp continually abuses her and Bruno. Bruno's neighbor, Scheitz, is an eccentric old misfit and fellow musician who has a distant relative in the US. Herzog fills the story with symbols of quiet, tiny things, like a paper ship to foreshadow Bruno's journey to America, a mynah bird that acts as a canary in a coal mine when Bruno attempts to take it with him to the US, and a premature infant that shows resilience despite difficult odds. The gentle moments stand in opposition to the cruel violence. Eventually, the trio embark upon a journey to escape danger and get a piece of the American dream in Railroad Flats, Wisconsin. Having arrived in New York and stepped into an image out of Chantal Ackerman's News from Home, our three German exports are already shown to be like fish out of water.
America is so open. The center of America is everything is vast and strange and open.
Werner Herzog places his German actors in unscripted situations with real, unassuming Americans. Rarely would both parties understand each other. This is the documentary-like quality of Stroszek.
Well, the borderline between reality and fiction is very blurred, like in many of my documentaries anyway.
This scene is a prime example of directing actors as a social experiment.
What is that? That's a voltmeter? Milliamp.
What do you think he wants?
I don't know what he wants.
The control is the scripted dialogue that the German actors speak. The variable is how the non-professional American actors will react. Herzog sits back and delights in the Midwesterner's gentle chaos.
Huh? Is that a voltmeter?
And one doesn't know what the other is talking about.
Ich habe es mir in Amerika anders vorgestellt. Dass ich durch Arbeit schnell reich wäre.
Jetzt hör halt schon auf, Bruno. Ich kann es jetzt wirklich nicht mehr hören. Außerdem habe ich wirklich schon oft gesagt, dass in Amerika einer sein Geld verdient.
And here these scenes, this dialogue somehow reflects this climate of an American nightmare that is looming out there as well.
All right, the auction's on, right there, $900 on it. You hold right there, $10,000 on it.
Once Bruno loses his home, he becomes desperate. Bruno takes a kind of farewell ride out of Wisconsin. At this point, all his friends are gone, and he is going it alone, just like John Wayne.
All ihre Strafdelikte gehen auf Alkohol zurück, sind also Alkoholtaten. Dass du nie mehr einen Tropfen Alkohol anrührst.
Großes ungarisches Ehrenwort.
Prost. He finds himself drinking beer with a stranger in Cherokee, North Carolina. He went in thinking the American dream would happen to him.
And I think this is the dream not only of Bruno, that is the dream of the immigrants. You start low as a waitress, but if you work hard, if you do it well, if you have a perspective and a vision, you can make it big.
The most famous celebrity encounter with Stroszek involved a troubled new wave icon who was unusually affected by Herzog's absurd tragic comedy.
Dance, 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 dance to the radio. Dance, 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 dance to the radio.
Singer Ian Curtis of the band Joy Division turned on the television and caught the film one fateful night, which is documented both in the film's 24-hour Party People and Control.
And now the dancing chicken. And here, seeing this chicken, I knew that was something very, very, very big. A metaphor, a big metaphor, without knowing metaphor for what. I truly love the chicken more than anything else.
The dancing chicken is the American dream. It left the farm for the city, and now it performs for endless kernels of corn and shares its gift with the world. This self-actualized bird lives in its own studio apartment, a professional dancer, while its brothers and sisters sit in overcrowded cages and lay eggs and wait to be slaughtered. The chicken has beat the odds and escaped fate, yet it's still just a grotesque sideshow attraction. No matter how you measure success, it can always look like failure. Bruno leaves the truck driving in circles, a motif that Herzog also explored in his second film, Even Dwarves Started Small.
Strangely enough, both Germans and Americans kind of liked it. You see, there is Americans somehow recognize something about them in the movie, and it's not one of those movies that tries to make Americans looking bad, or they see there is something about them that other films have not grasped as firmly as this one. Of course, there's a deep sadness about this, and it doesn't have anything optimistic about it, but that is the mood of the story and not the mood of America.
Stroszek is now streaming on Fandor. Another America, Films from a Place Called Home, is a video essay series that looks at films about America made by non-Americans. This video was written and edited by me, Philip Youssef Brubaker.
Ooh.